You don't need a celebrity budget to make your home look expensive. You just need fewer bad decisions. So today, I'm calling out 7 things that can make your home look cheap as f***. And yes, some of them are small, but trust me, they loud. Novelty decor. One of the fastest ways to make your home look cheap. Now listen, before anybody gets offensive in the comments talking about, but it's cheerful and it's cute. No, it's not. It's tacky. This is not whimsy. This is giving I decorated my house like a theme park restaurant.
Damn!
And that's the problem. When your decor is shaped like an oversized fruit, random lips, giant high heels, faux desserts, or some cartoonish object that looks like it belongs in a 5-year-old's room, your home starts looking less like a sanctuary and more like a prop closet. I love unexpected moments. I love a little humor in design. But design without discernment? The home should have personality, yes, absolutely. But it shouldn't look like every object in the room is trying to be the main character. This watermelon stool is a perfect example. It's oversized, literal, gimmicky, and it has all the subtlety of a screaming baby in a library. It doesn't whisper style, it yells,
"Stop it. Get some help."
Because tacky decor often reads as impulsive instead of intentional. If you love funky decor, there's a better way to do it. Pull inspiration from fruit colors if that's your thing. A juicy watermelon tone in artwork, a sculptural bowl, or linen napkins in citrus tones. It's artistic instead of obvious. That's the key. Inspired by, not dressed as. Because when decor becomes too literal, too gimmicky, too themey, it starts looking tacky real fast. And your home should feel collected. Not like it got stuck on the set of Coco Melon, which is absolutely my nightmare. Oh my God. Whew. Mismatched hardware and plastic switch plates. A well-designed home needs consistency, and cheap mismatched hardware will absolutely break that illusion. I'm talking about rain and door handles and faucets in different finishes. This is one of those details that people overlook all the time. But I promise you, your house feels it. Hell, I feel it just looking at the pictures. And before somebody says, but mixing metals is in, right? Yes, intentional mixing is in. Chaos is not.
What kind of shit is that?
That's the difference. Your home can absolutely mix finishes, but there needs to be a plan. When every knob or faucet is doing its own thing, the whole house feels confusing. Like every decision got made separately by different people on different days in different moods. And that's exactly how our home starts to feel cheaper than it is. Because hardware is like the accessories of a house. It may not be the whole outfit, but it can absolutely ruin it.
Ew.
Ew, ew, ew.
So instead, choose one dominant finish for the home, or at least each zone. I recommend keeping door handles consistent throughout the entire house. Next, look at how faucets relate to the overall finish story. Then, make sure cabinet hardware complements rather than competes. And finally, try replacing switch plates by upgrading to something cleaner and less plastic. Because once the details start working together, the whole house feels calmer, more expensive, and way more intentional. Clutter. Nothing cheapens a home faster than a room that looks like an Amazon returns section. I'm sorry, but it's true. It's not just about having stuff, it's about having unorganized stuff. You can have a pretty sofa, beautiful lamps, and gorgeous marble countertops. But the second every surface is covered in stuff, the whole room starts to feel like it's stocked instead of styled. Because excess is not cozy, unless of course you're talking about money. If you have a lot of it, yeah, it can make you a little cozy. Clutter is not layered. It's not lived in some charming, effortless sort of way. It's visual stress. So how do you know if you've become a curated queen or a cluttered commoner? Well, if every table is packed, every corner is crowded, and every flat surface has been recruited into storage duty, your storage solutions have failed you. And the space starts to feel overwhelmed instead of elevated. Hell, at that point, the furniture is no longer the feature, the clutter is. And that's not styling. That's a congested cry for help. That's why clutter makes a home feel cheap. It reads as unmanaged, and it makes the whole space feel accidental instead of intentional. And no, I'm not saying that your house has to look like nobody lives there. I'm not asking you to give padded room in an insane asylum. I'm asking you to stop giving Costco warehouse, because there's a difference between lived in and left out. Every home needs breathing room. You know, a little restraint. The fix is to edit. Start by clearing the surfaces that matter the most. Your entry console, your coffee tables, your side tables, and your counters. Then ask yourself, does this need to be left out? Does it belong here? Does it add beauty? function, or both? And if the answer is
hell no, come on to the no,
then it needs to move. Use trays to corral smaller items. Hide everyday mess inside cabinets and drawers. Limit your decorative objects so they actually have impact. And for the love of design, leave a little empty space. Empty space is not wasted space. It's what allows the room to feel calm, polished, and expensive. Because luxury is not just about what you add. A lot of the time it's about what you edit out. So yes, fill your home with things that you love, but not so many things that your room starts to feel like it needs inventory management, okay? Your eyes should be drawn to the beautiful parts of a room. No one wants to see TV wires hanging down like sad little vines, nor do they want to see a power strip out in the open living its best ugly life. Or worse, phone chargers, extension cords, and random black wires everywhere, looking like your house is being kept alive on life support. It makes the space feel cluttered, disorganized, visually distracting, and extremely cheap. And look, I get it. We live in the real world. We have lamps, we have routers, we have TVs. We have things that need power. But just because cords are necessary does not mean they need to be part of the decor. Because the second you see a bunch of wires out in the open, the room starts to feel messy and temporary. Visible cords create visual noise, and good design depends on visual calm. That's what people fail to realize. A room doesn't feel elevated just because you bought nice stuff. It feels elevated when the ugly little functional things have been concealed. The fix here is actually not that deep. For TVs, hide the wires inside of your wall if you can, or if you must, some of us are renters, I know that, route the cords neatly behind the furniture. Power strips, hide them inside of a cable management box. For desks and side tables, edit what actually needs to stay plugged in. Half the time, people have 7 to 10 cords and only use 2 of them. For open shelving or consoles, group tech intentionally. Use baskets, boxes, furniture with closed storage, or pieces designed to conceal electronics. Yeah, that's right. Contain the chaos. No, cable management is not sexy. But you know what also isn't sexy? A beautiful room with a rat's nest of wires in the corner.
Ew, David.
And nobody wants that. Builder-grade baseboards. They don't elevate and they don't finish the room. It's not just some random finishing detail you're supposed to ignore. They create visual transition between the floors and the wall, making the space feel polished, intentional, and complete. So when the baseboards are tiny and aggressively basic, the whole room suffers. Hell, you suffer just looking at them, or at least I do.
Okay. You must be so embarrassed!
You can have a beautiful floor, but if the trim looks like the builder spent less than 17 cents on it, the room is gonna feel
basic. Because
that's what builder grade anything usually gives. Minimum effort, maximum square footage, and 0 personality. A good baseboard adds weight and it adds finish. Cheap ones make the room feel flimsy, and this becomes more obvious in homes that are trying to look elevated. You can't be out here asking your furniture, your lighting, and your styling to do all the heavy lifting. The details have to support the illusion.
Duh.
Wider is better. Aim for a baseboard height that is at least 5 to 7 inches. A taller, more substantial baseboard instantly makes a home feel more custom. It adds presence without screaming for attention. Because a well-designed home is not just about the obvious stars, it's also about the background players supporting the rest of the space beautifully. Tiny rugs. I see this all the time. People will have a sofa, 2 chairs, a coffee table, and maybe even a whole sectional situation. Then right in the middle of all this is a sad little rug just floating there looking like it has no real authority in the room.
Ew!
And that's the problem. A rug is not supposed to be a decorative postage stamp. It should anchor the layout and create cohesion. But when the rug is too small, everything starts to feel disconnected. The room starts to feel skimpy, unfinished, and weirdly cheap, even if the pieces themselves are nice. Because scale matters. And a too small rug will absolutely throw off the proportions of the entire room. Plus, it just makes the space feel less intentional and more like you bought whatever was on sale and hoped nobody would notice. Guess what? I noticed. A good rug should make the home feel larger, calmer, and more complete. A tiny rug does the opposite. It shrinks the room visually and makes everything around it feel basic as hell.
You're basic.
You know this happens in dining rooms too. If your dining chairs slide out halfway off the rug every time somebody sits down, the rug is too small. Period. Same thing in the bedroom. If the rug is so small that it barely peeks out like it's a shy 2-year-old hiding behind daddy while being forced to say hi to a stranger, the rug is too small. It should frame the bed generously and make the room feel plush, not like you threw down a bath mat and called it luxury. The fix is simple. You need to size the rug based on the furniture layout. It's the single most powerful spatial trick in the book. In a living room, at the very least, the front legs of your main seating pieces should sit on the rug. Ideally, more than that. In a dining room, the rug should be large enough that the chairs stay on it, even when pulled out. In your bedroom, make sure your rug extends far beyond the bed to actually soften and ground the space. And yes, bigger rugs usually cost more. I know. Rug pricing starts to get real disrespectful real fast. It's just one of those things where going too small will cost you visually. And we're not coming here for that, okay? We understand the assignments, so the pieces that are in the room need to do the same. Lighting is absolutely everything in design. It does the major heavy lifting when it comes to setting the whole vibe and creating a distinct atmosphere. It can make a space feel warm, moody, expensive, sculptural, and dramatic. And because it has this incredible power to add personality and shape, it's honestly one of the funnest parts of design. So when the fixture is ugly, cheap looking, awkwardly scaled, or aggressively build-a-grade, it can take the whole room down with it. From an entryway with a sad little boob light to a dining room with a chandelier that looks like lighting should elevate the room, not be its op. A bad fixture can make a home feel generic, or worse, cheap. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. Lighting commands attention whether you want it to or not. Instead of just accepting it, try swapping out those Builder Basic fixtures on site. You don't need crystal in every room. However, you do need better than the standard issue basic boob light. Sometimes you can't replace the whole light fixture. Often just changing the lampshade can make a huge difference. Add floor lamps or table lamps. This creates depth and dimension, which always looks more custom. Even a simple fixture can be beautiful if the shape is right and the finish feels intentional. Because once the lighting is right, everything else starts to feel better. Walls, the furniture, the finishes. Baby! Because if the lighting is wrong, the room never recovers. Never. Most design mistakes aren't about bad taste. They're just small decisions that add up over time. What design mistakes drive you guys crazy? Tell me in the comments because I might feature it in the next video. See you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.